Moving on to project management now. One approach, this is just one approach to manage an event. So relevant to events industry. And Gray and Larson in 2000 state that a project is a complex, non-routine, one-time effort limited by time, budget, resources and performance specifications designed to meet customer needs. Well, that does make sense, doesn't it? So project management concerns the management process required to create the event itself. It includes work prior, during and post-event. And project management integrates the disciplines of event management team. Important to note here that the event may only last for a day. The project management for the event may take place over many months or even years. Now we're going to look at the phases of project management. Now within this diagram, down the left hand side, you've got the various elements of the project management process. You've got scope, marketing, finance, time, design, risk, procurement, human resources, stakeholders and communication. Some, maybe even all elements, hopefully you would have thought about with regards to your event. And then almost we've got a timeline to the right hand side as we move through. So you've got the initiation phase, then you've got the planning phase, the implementation, the event itself, and then the shutdown. So a project will pass through a number of phases. A phase is a series of related tasks performed over a period of time. An end of a phase usually characterized by a decision to start the next phase, and the aim to provide clarity to the confusing tasks of an event management. So working through the project management phases, firstly we've got the initiation phase, and here the event idea and the objectives are clearly brought together, and this is what's called the feasibility. So feasibility study may include the viability of the event. So it could be down to money, for example, or it could be down to resources required. Management required for delivery. So down to your delivery structure, is it the simple structure or is it the functional structure? The draft budget, risk analysis, event logistics, and then alternative configurations. So trying to foresee any potential problems and then looking for alternatives. Within the planning phase, it's important to identify what is needed and how it will all fit together. Each knowledge area will produce a plan. The project management seeks to integrate the plans, and you will also have baseline plans. Moving into the implementation. So this is the application of all plans. So all that work you've done up until that point, this is the time in which you're going to implement it and to actually deliver the event itself. The monitoring and control. So it involves testing the plans and confirming the relevance of the plans. Decision making is absolutely key. Then progress reporting to stakeholders, because again, they're going to have potentially conflicting objectives for the delivery of the event. So you'll need to report accordingly. It can't just be one blanket report process. They're going to need bespoke individual reports. And then active risk management. Monitoring and control implementation is characterized by numerous meetings and decision making. Communication between the various parties is absolutely fundamental. Moving on to the next stage, which is the actual event itself. Here we look at the theming and event design, the audience or the guests themselves. So you may have VIPs attending, so how do you support them on the actual day? Staging, lights, sound. You may want to communicate with the participants and therefore you may have a sound system there on the day. Catering, performers, crew, hospitality, media, contingencies. These are all things that need to be considered within the event delivery, the logistics and staging. Now, breathe a big sigh of relief, the event is actually completed. What do you need to do to shut down the event? Well, this requires a separate series of tasks and responsibilities. So crowd dispersal, so event safety related to program will all leave at the same time. Equipment, so do you need specialist staff and bespoke or specific time for removal? Human resources, so make sure that you say thank you to all your volunteers and participants and VIPs. Do they need a specific debrief, or do payments need to be distributed for travel costs? Contractors, again, saying a huge thank you because you may use them in the future. Finances, so you may wish to pay bills or finalise accounts, because this may form part of the communication to stakeholders or partners to say whether or not you've actually balanced the books. Marketing and promotion, so a review of the information. So if you've received questionnaires, you need to review the questionnaires. Sponsorship, so meet and thank the sponsors. Clients and preparation for the next event, so planning and review. And again, it's that cyclical cycle that you plan, deliver, review, and plan again. Off you go. So knowledge areas, so relative importance will vary between phases. A number of areas will produce plans, so the deliverables, that will be the actual tangible outcome or the planning process within each of the phases. The deliverables are used to organise the event itself, providing documents and focusing the staff. So we've all seen clear, concise action plans, and it may be useful for you to implement that yourself. Project management seeks to integrate plans into a cohesive, workable project plan. Now, I'd like you to take 15 minutes. I want you to do a task and describe the advantages of using project management for events. Okay, off you go.